Have you ever felt like your legs just aren't what they used to be? Not obvious pain, not exactly a serious illness, but every time you sit for a while, like watching TV, eating dinner, or reading the morning paper, and then stand up, you feel heavy. Your legs feel numb, cold. Sometimes you have to stand still for a moment before you dare to take a step. At first, it only takes a few minutes to feel better, but later, that feeling becomes more persistent. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night just because your legs are numb and cold. Sometimes you feel a slight dizziness while standing, and you start to think, it must be old age. But what if I told you it's not entirely like that? The truth is, blood circulation in your legs won't be the same after 60, because by then, our bodies are no longer as agile as they were in our youth. The heart pumps slower. The leg muscles, the ones that help push blood from the feet back to the heart, gradually weaken. And if we sit in one place for too long, blood will pool in our legs like water in a lake that can't drain. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just that your body is changing silently. And that's why I'm here today. Not to scare you about the risk of leg swelling, cramps, or falls, but to help you understand what's happening in your legs and offer the three simplest solutions to reverse that situation. I won't just say, go exercise, and end it there. Instead, I will clearly explain why blood doesn't circulate as well in your legs as it used to, what inside your body has slowed down, making your legs prone to numbness and coldness, and what three small habits, each taking less than 90 seconds, can help reawaken that circulation every day, all based on research from Indiana University, Harvard Medical School, and reputable medical journals. If you are over 60 and want your legs to feel warmer, steadier, and less swollen, then I believe this video will be a gentle yet very valuable turning point in your daily healthcare routine. And to understand why just those three small habits can make such a big impact, first, we need to revisit something very important, but often overlooked, the circulation mechanism in our legs themselves. Imagine your legs as silent blood pumps, working quietly day and night without anyone noticing. Unlike the heart, a major pump located in the center of the body, the legs act like auxiliary pump stations, helping blood from the lowest part of the body return to the heart. And that job is not easy. When we stand up, blood has to travel against gravity from the feet up to the heart, a journey of nearly 4 feet. So what helps? Not the heart, not medication either. It's the muscles in your calves and ankles themselves. Every time we move, walk, stand on tiptoes, or rotate our ankles, these muscles contract like a pump, gently squeezing the veins and pushing blood gradually upward. And inside the veins are small valves, like one-way doors, that prevent blood from flowing backward. But if you sit for a long time, move little, those pumps start to rest. When the muscles don't contract, blood isn't pushed up, and therefore blood pools in the legs, making them feel heavy, slightly swollen, or cold. This is why many older adults experience ankle swelling, night cramps, or feel like their legs have lost strength when standing up from a chair. In addition, another factor that few people think about, but is very common, is mild dehydration. When the body lacks water, blood volume decreases, viscosity increases, and blood vessels constrict. This makes the blood transport process even more sluggish, especially in areas far from the heart like the feet. That's why many people feel warmer in their legs when they drink more water, because the blood becomes thinner, flows more easily, and helps nourish the tissues in the legs better. Another reason is age. As we reach our 60s and 70s, natural muscle mass begins to decline, and the calf muscles, once the strongest pump, now gradually weaken, shrink, and no longer have enough force to pump blood as effectively as before. So blood gets stuck in the legs, causing feelings of coldness, tingling like ants crawling, lightheadedness when standing up, and heavy legs after walking for a while. All of these are not normal signs of old age, as many people think. They are clear signals that the circulatory system in the legs is working harder, slower, and needs support. The good news is we don't need medical devices or strenuous exercises to help improve this situation. Instead, just small, timely movements, even while sitting in a chair or lying in bed, are enough to reactivate the muscle pump in the legs And just like restarting an old car, just pressing the gas pedal at the right rhythm and time, the blood will start to flow more easily, carrying oxygen and nutrients to nourish muscle tissue, warm the legs, increase balance, and help you feel more energetic every time you walk. So, what exactly are those three simple habits, and why can each habit, taking only 30 to 60 seconds, bring significant benefits to circulation in the legs? We will explore each action, along with the accompanying scientific evidence, right now. So, what's the first habit? You might be surprised at how simple it is, just ankle pumping, a movement we can do even while sitting on the sofa, watching TV, or even while enjoying an afternoon cup of tea. Just lift your toes up, then lower them down repeatedly for about 60 seconds. Sounds trivial, doesn't it? But this is the key to reactivating the blood flow in your legs, the blood flow that, if not stimulated, will start to slow down gradually with each passing year. Have you ever felt that heaviness in your legs that makes you hesitate, even when just wanting to get up to grab a glass of water? Have your legs ever felt numb or cold, even when it's not winter? These seemingly minor sensations are actually showing something important. The blood flow to your legs is slowing down. Circulation in the legs isn't as simple as flipping a switch and having blood rush through. Older bodies naturally slow down, and blood has to travel against gravity from the legs back to the heart. This requires significant support from the calf muscles themselves. That's why scientists call this area the body's second heart. Many older adults wonder, I don't have any serious illnesses, so why do my legs often swell in the evening? Or, why do my legs feel stiff and hard as rocks when I wake up in the morning? The reason isn't far-fetched. It's because blood hasn't had a chance to return to the heart due to the legs being inactive. And thankfully, this can be completely improved with a gentle, simple, and effortless movement, ankle pumping for 60 seconds. This isn't exercise with sweat and an increased heart rate. In fact, it's so gentle you can do it even while sitting on the sofa or even while waiting at the doctor's office. Imagine this. The soleus muscle, a group of muscles located at the back of the lower leg, just below the calf, is like a second pump in your body. The heart pumps blood everywhere, but for blood to flow back up from the legs to the heart, we need the contraction of the soleus muscle. Every time you stand on your tiptoes, that soleus muscle contracts and presses on the deep veins in your legs, creating pressure that helps push blood against the flow, overcoming the Earth's gravitational pull. If you perform ankle pumping every day, it's like turning on the switch for this second pump to work regularly throughout the day. And when the pump is working, blood will circulate, your feet will be warmer, the feeling of heaviness will decrease, and the risk of leg swelling or numbness will gradually improve. Interestingly, this movement wasn't just thought up randomly. Researchers have conducted many experiments to see what actually happens in the veins when older adults perform this exercise. A 2023 review published on the Science Direct system showed that if the ankles are pumped at a frequency of about 30 to 60 times per minute, the ability to push venous blood back to the heart is much higher than when inactive. The effect is even better than doing it too slowly. Why? Because a steady and slightly faster pace will cause the venous valves, which are like one-way doors, to open and close more flexibly. Blood doesn't pool in the feet for too long. Another study followed people with chronic venous insufficiency, a condition where blood pools in the legs for a long time, and showed that after just 4 to 12 weeks of performing daily heel-toe raises, they significantly reduced symptoms like leg swelling, feelings of tightness, and the time it took for blood to fill the veins also shortened. In other words, the flow was refreshed. So, how do you perform this exercise right at home? No equipment, no tools needed. Just sit upright in a chair with your feet comfortably touching the ground. Then, keeping your heels as the pivot, gently lift your toes up, then lower them down. Next, keeping your toes as the pivot, lift your heels up, then lower them down again. Repeat that movement continuously as if you're walking in place with just your ankles. Do about 30 repetitions for each leg. It takes less than a minute. And if you have time, you can do another set. Every time you sit for more than 60 minutes, for example, while watching a movie or reading a book, give your legs a chance to refresh their blood flow. I know that many people over 60 often think, I don't have the energy to exercise like I did when I was young. But precisely for that reason, we need short, light exercises that are still effective. Ankle pumping is an ideal choice, like a refresh button for circulation. Each time you do it, you're telling your body, I'm still active, I'm still taking care of myself. And if you ask me, how many times a day should I do it? The answer is, whenever possible. No need to count the exact number of repetitions. Consistency is key. Some people do it while waiting for coffee. Some do it before getting up to cook or before leaving the house. The ideal frequency is a few times a day. Not too much, not too little. Just maintain it. Like a little reminder. Today, I'm still helping blood flow smoothly to every toe. After your feet have been awakened by the gentle pumping rhythm of toe-heel raises, the next step is to help your ankle joints become more flexible and further wake up the small blood vessels that are dozing around the ankle area. And the way to do this is very simple. Just use your toes to draw a few letters. Drawing the ABCs with your ankles, habit number 2, seems simple but helps prevent dizziness, leg numbness, and improves balance. Many older adults have experienced a moment of flickering every time they stand up from bed, the sofa, or the toilet, a feeling of lightheadedness, mild dizziness, or even temporary darkening of vision, forcing them to grab a wall or stop. This phenomenon is not uncommon. In fact, it's called orthostatic hypotension, and it occurs largely because blood isn't delivered to the head quickly enough when changing positions. During this process, one of the muscle groups that quietly contributes is the ankles, because in this small joint area, the venous and nervous systems are activated every time the foot moves, especially multi-directional movements, like when drawing a letter in the air. A clinical trial published in PMC in 2015 showed that just 1 minute of ankle movement in flexion extension, whether active or passive, can increase blood flow to the brain by up to 12%. This is not a small number, especially for older adults, who are more prone to impaired blood pressure regulation when changing positions. Moreover, these movements not only increase blood flow, but also stimulate the autonomic nervous system, the system responsible for keeping blood pressure stable when standing, sitting, or lying down. Imagine just one simple movement each morning or before standing up can create a better wave of blood circulation and make the nervous system more alert to every body movement. Furthermore, other studies have shown that ankle rotation and drawing exercises, if performed regularly, can significantly improve balance and reduce postural dizziness after just 4 weeks. This is particularly important for older adults who tend to lose their sense of control when changing positions, easily becoming unsteady or misstepping. Behind a small misstep lies the risk of falling, and the consequences of falls in older adults are often significant. Therefore, a brief movement like drawing the ABCs with your ankles can not only improve circulation but also protect stability and safety in every daily step. The way to perform this exercise is extremely simple. No tools, no trainers, and no need to remember any complex technical principles. Just lie or sit upright, lift one leg a few inches off the floor. No need to go too high. Then, use your big toe as an imaginary pen and draw the 3 letters, A, B, and C, as if writing in the air. Each stroke is a gentle ankle movement, but enough to lubricate the joint and gently massage the blood vessels. After drawing with one leg, switch to the other. The whole process takes less than 1 minute. But those 60 seconds make a clear difference in how you feel when standing up after sleep, after sitting for a long time, or when you need to walk immediately without feeling unsteady. Interestingly, the person performing the exercise doesn't need to feel the blood circulating to know it's effective. A simple sign to recognize the impact of this exercise is a feeling of lighter legs, or a shortened reaction time when standing up. No more having to stand still for a few seconds to stabilize. Instead, the person will feel like their legs are ready to go right after touching the floor. Over time, this practice also helps the ankles become more flexible, which can minimize the risk of tripping, spraining an ankle, or misstepping. A significant advantage of the drawing letters exercise is its flexibility in application. It can be done while lying in bed, while sitting reading a book, or even while waiting for your morning coffee. It doesn't take up space, doesn't make noise, and doesn't disrupt your activities. That's why this exercise is considered a form of vein warm-up especially before times of standing up, which is the riskiest moment for the circulatory system in older adults. However, to achieve the best results, it's important to maintain this habit regularly. Many people think that doing it once is enough, but just like blood always needs to be pumped continuously, the blood vessels and ankle joints also need to be reminded every day. Treat this movement like a habit, no different from brushing your teeth in the morning, and attach it to an existing activity. For example, drawing the ABCs right after waking up or before standing up from the chair after watching TV. A small suggestion to help maintain this habit is to leave a sticky note at the head of your bed or on the armrest of your chair, simply writing, "Did you draw your ABCs yet?" Just a small but regular reminder is enough to turn a simple movement into an indispensable part of your daily life, especially when it not only helps your legs be flexible and blood circulate well, but also contributes to protecting your ability to walk independently. Small habit, big impact. And when combined with other movements like ankle pumping or light walking, the overall effect on the circulatory system will be even greater. That's also why in the next part we'll discuss a simple but often overlooked action, even though it's a prerequisite for keeping blood from becoming thick: the habit of drinking water and taking 10 steps, a combination that both nourishes the blood flow and activates the venous muscles, helping your legs no longer feel cold, numb, or stuck after sitting for a long time. If your legs are like silent blood pumps, then water is the fuel that keeps them running smoothly every day. After clearing the blood flow with ankle movements and activating the muscle contractions that push blood from the legs back to the heart, there's still a crucial element, often overlooked, and that's water and gentle movement. A common question among older adults is, do I need to drink as much water as when I was younger, when I go to the bathroom more often and feel less thirsty? The answer isn't about the absolute amount of water, it's about this. Every cell, every blood vessel, every circulatory cycle in the body, at any age, needs water to function optimally. Think about this. Every morning after waking up, your body has gone about 7 to 8 hours without water intake. Blood can become thicker, circulation slows down, especially in lower areas like the legs. At that point, just a small glass of warm water, about 1 cup, can make a difference. You might have experienced it. After a glass of water, the dizziness when standing up suddenly disappears. Your body feels lighter. Your hands and feet gradually warm up. That's not a coincidence. That's science. According to a Vanderbilt University study published in the journal Circulation, drinking about 500 milliliters of water can temporarily increase blood pressure in older adults with orthostatic hypertension, a fairly common phenomenon that occurs when standing up suddenly. So, water doesn't just quench thirst. It also helps stabilize circulation, prevent dizziness, and maintain a steady blood flow down to the legs and up to the heart. But the story doesn't end with drinking water. Because if you just drink and then continue to sit still, blood will still pool in your legs. And that's when the third small habit comes in: standing up and walking about 10 steps after each long period of sitting. You might ask, are just 10 steps enough to make a difference? And here's the interesting thing. Yes, a study at the University of Missouri showed that just standing up and walking for about 30 to 60 seconds, equivalent to 10 to 20 slow steps, significantly increased blood flow in the legs, especially in older adults. That means with just 1 minute of gentle movement, you've helped your legs reduce the risk of swelling, decrease the feeling of heaviness, and improve the return of blood to the heart. So if you're sitting watching TV in the living room or reading a book on the sofa, why not take the opportunity to stand up and walk a few steps to the balcony or around the dining table? Every 30 to 60 minutes, do this once. It doesn't take much effort, but the effect is enormous. Imagine this. If throughout an afternoon, you repeat the process of taking a sip of water and then walking 10 gentle steps, about 4 times, then in just a few hours, you've awakened the circulation in your legs 4 times, helping prevent blood from pooling for too long in your feet or calves. Some people might wonder, does walking in place have the same effect? The answer is, real walking creates a better effect because when you walk, all the leg muscle groups, from the feet, ankles, calves to the hips, are activated in sequence. This not only helps pump blood effectively, but also improves balance and flexibility of the knee and hip joints. And don't forget that walking doesn't necessarily mean going outside. If it's not convenient to go out to the yard, you can still walk around the dining table, around your bed, or even in the hallway. The important thing is, don't let your body stay still for too long, especially your legs, the part of the body easily forgotten when sitting. A little tip, you can set gentle reminders on your phone or watch every 60 minutes. No need for loud alarms, just a small signal to remind you that it's time to stand up, take a sip of water, and walk a few steps. Some people even keep a small water bottle and comfortable slippers next to their chair so there's no reason to delay, because the fewer obstacles, the higher the chance of taking action. This habit, drinking water and taking 10 steps, not only helps blood circulate better, it also helps reduce the risk of leg swelling, muscle pain, and even reduces the possibility of blood clot formation, something warned about by the American Heart Association, especially in people who sit for long periods, move little, or are post-surgery. A familiar image that might help visualize this. The blood flow in your legs is like a small stream. If that stream isn't supplied with water regularly, it will dry up. If there isn't gentle movement like a breeze, the water can't circulate evenly either. Water and movement are the source and the breeze. When you combine both, your legs will no longer feel heavy as lead, but will become lighter and more flexible every day. If you're wondering where to start, the advice is start in the morning. After waking up, drink a glass of warm water. Then stand up and walk 10 gentle steps around your bed, your room, or out to the front yard. That can be a great warm-up for a new day full of energy, and the simplest way to start the blood flow in your legs right from the beginning of the day. And if you sometimes feel tired or lazy to stand up, ask yourself, can these 10 steps be a gift to my legs today? Because those small steps, if maintained regularly, will help you maintain your ability to walk independently for a long time, something everyone desires when they reach their 60s, 70s, or even beyond. After hearing about all three habits, many people might sigh and think, oh, is that all? And exactly, that's all. But it's this very simplicity that's valuable, because big changes in health sometimes don't come from excessive effort, but from persistence with small things, repeated regularly every day. So how do you integrate these three habits, ankle pumping, ankle alphabet drawing, and drinking water plus 10 steps, into your daily life gently without getting confused or feeling pressured? Let's build a sample schedule together, and if it suits you, you can absolutely adjust it to your own daily routine. In the morning after waking up, that's the ideal time to kickstart circulation. After a long night of lying still, blood tends to pool in lower areas like the legs, especially since older adults often have a habit of lying down longer. So, while still sitting on the bed, start with habit number 1, ankle pumping for 60 seconds. No need to get up in a hurry. Just sit upright, place both feet flat on the floor, and slowly press your toes down as if pressing a car pedal. Then flex your ankles back up as if hooking your toes onto the pedal. Alternate each leg or do both at the same time. This movement stimulates the calf muscle group, which contains the mechanical pump that helps push blood from the legs back to the heart. Just 1 minute, but it's an extremely important minute to awaken circulation after sleep. Immediately after, when you feel your legs starting to warm up, move on to habit number 2, drawing letters with your ankles. You can choose to draw your name, the first letter of your children's names, or simply the letters A, B, C. Each letter is a different movement, helping your ankles become more flexible, increasing the suppleness of the tendons and muscles in the ankle and foot area. Especially those who often experience stiff ankles in the morning will feel much more comfortable after just a few days of persistence. After completing these 2 habits, it's also time for your first glass of warm water of the day. Habit number 3. No need to drink too much. About 150 to 200 milliliters is enough to awaken the digestive organs, thin the blood, and help blood flow more smoothly. And then, don't sit down immediately. Walk about 10 steps around the room. You can walk from the bedroom to the kitchen, or simply walk back and forth in front of the window. These steps are the connection between movement and circulation. They don't require much effort, but are extremely effective in reducing the risk of leg swelling, cramps, or the feeling of heaviness in your feet when standing for a long time. Some viewers will ask, how many times a day should I repeat these habits? The answer is, the more regular, the better. but that doesn't mean you have to force yourself to follow a strict hourly schedule. Instead, attach these 3 habits to easy to remember times, like after meals, after each TV show, or before going to bed. For example, after breakfast, pump your ankles while sitting and reading the newspaper. After lunch, drink an extra glass of water and walk 10 steps around the house. In the afternoon, while watching your favorite program, take the opportunity to draw letters with your ankles during commercials. Before bed, pump your ankles again, gently as a massage to relax before lying down. Just a few minutes each time, but if you repeat this 3 to 4 times a day, you'll get 15 to 20 minutes of leg circulation exercise without even realizing it. And this regularity will create a cumulative change, exactly what science calls the compound effect. A study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy showed that people over 65 who maintained light activities like ankle exercises and short walks several times a day had higher peripheral blood flow, less leg swelling, and maintained better balance compared to the group that sat more and moved less. So, if you sometimes feel like you haven't exercised at all, just look back. How many times did I pump my ankles today? Did I drink water after lunch? Did I stand up and walk a few steps after watching TV? With just 3 small questions, you've already checked your circulatory health. Another tip, share this habit with your spouse, children, or relatives. When someone does it with you, maintaining it becomes easier. Some people even turn it into a morning alphabet game, drawing letters with their feet together and guessing what they are. A little fun like that also makes taking care of your legs much more enjoyable. And if you are caring for older parents or grandparents, encourage them to practice these 3 habits every day. No equipment needed, no gym required, no complex techniques. But the effect is very clear. After a few weeks, many people have shared feelings of less numbness, less swelling, and more flexible movement, especially when getting out of bed in the morning or when going for a light walk outside. The last thing to remember, your legs may weaken over time, but the ability to improve circulation is always there, as long as we maintain these small actions regularly and persistently. Imagine, in the next few weeks, every morning you wake up, your legs feel lighter, no longer numb. Every time you get up from a chair, you feel more confident and steady. Walking around the garden is no longer a worry. Even the feeling of wanting to go outside returns, because your body has started to listen, has started to recover. And most importantly, you don't have to do it alone. There are millions of older adults looking for simple ways to stay healthy, independent, and proactive in their lives. When you start to take action, even the smallest action, you are already part of that wave of positive change. Old age doesn't mean sitting still. It's a time to live slowly but deeply, to walk less but more meaningfully, and for every step to no longer be a burden, but a testament to the dedicated care you give yourself. So, when this video ends, don't just turn off the screen and return to your familiar sofa. Lift your legs, pump your ankles a few times, take a small sip of water, and walk 10 steps around the room. That won't just be a simple action, but the first promise you make to your legs that I won't let circulation slow down. I will continue to walk.